1. Introduction. My name is Alina. I am 24 years old. I come from a simple family. We do not have much money. I work as a maid in a very, very large house. This house is like a beautiful, old castle. It stands on a big hill in the city. It has many, many rooms, perhaps 50 or 60 rooms in total. There are also large, green gardens around the house with tall trees and colorful flowers. My job is to take care of these rooms. Every day, I wake up very early when it is still dark. I put on my plain, black maid's uniform. Then I start my work. I clean the wooden floors until they shine like glass. I dust all the furniture, the tables, the chairs, the many pictures on the walls. I make sure everything is perfect and clean for the person who owns this house. It is hard work, and my hands are often rough from cleaning. The owner of this big house is Mr. Alexander Blackwood. He is a young man, maybe around 30 years old. He is very rich and very important in the city. He has a big company that makes a lot of money. His name is known by many people. Mr. Blackwood is a tall man. He is handsome. He has dark hair and dark eyes that always look serious. He is often quiet and does not show his feelings easily. He is known to be strict with his staff. He does not smile much. When he speaks, his voice is low and calm. When he looks at me, even for a moment, I feel very small and like I am just a shadow. I am just a girl who cleans his house. He is the powerful master. But every time I see him, something happens inside me. My heart starts to beat very, very fast. It feels like a small bird trapped in a cage in my chest. My hands feel cold, and I might feel a little shaky. I try to turn my head away. I look at the floor or look out a window, but my eyes always seem to find him again. When he walks into a room where I am working, I feel a strange shiver go through my body. It is a feeling I cannot share with anyone. It is my secret feeling. He lives in a completely different world from me. His world is full of wealth, important people, and big events. My world is small and simple. It is about working hard every day just to live. He would never notice a girl like me for real. I am just part of the background in his large house, but I cannot stop this feeling I have. When I am cleaning his private office, I touch his things, his pens, his papers, his big desk. I sometimes imagine what his life is like. It is a life so far away from mine, a life that I can only see from a distance. This secret feeling for Mr. Alexander Blackwood is something I keep hidden deep inside my heart. It belongs only to me. 2. A strange night. The large house was full of noise and light. It was Mr. Blackwood's big party. Many important people came. The ladies wore long, beautiful dresses made of silk and shiny materials. They had bright jewels around their necks and on their fingers. The men wore expensive dark suits and white shirts. Music played loudly from a big room. I had to work during the party. I carried a silver tray with drinks. I walked through the rooms, offering water and juice. I also picked up empty glasses from small tables. I wore my work uniform. It was black and simple. It was clean, but it made me feel different from everyone else. I felt like I did not belong. I felt invisible in my plain clothes. I tried to stay out of the way. I stood near the walls where people did not walk often. From there, I watched Mr. Blackwood. He was talking and laughing. He looked very strong and important. He was the center of the party. He danced with some beautiful ladies. They all smiled at him. He seemed so far away from me, like someone in a different world. My heart felt a little heavy when I watched him. Then, across the crowded room, he looked up. His eyes moved across the people. For one short moment, his eyes stopped on me. Our eyes met. My breath stopped in my chest. My face felt very hot, and I was sure it was bright red. I felt silly and nervous. I quickly turned my head away. I walked fast, almost running to the kitchen. My heart was beating very hard and very fast inside my chest. I hoped he did not see my red face or how nervous I was. A few minutes later, the kitchen door opened slowly. It was him, Mr. Alexander Blackwood. He came into the kitchen. I was very surprised to see him there. He stood and looked at me. His eyes were serious, but not angry. "What is your name?" he asked again. His voice was quiet and soft. I was so nervous. My mouth felt dry. I could not say my name easily. I am busy working, sir," I said. My voice was small and shaky. My hands began to shake a little. He walked a little closer to me. He lifted his hand slowly. He gently touched my cheek with his fingers. His hand felt warm on my skin. My whole body felt a strange feeling. I shivered softly. I could not look up at his face. I kept my eyes on the floor, looking at my shoes. He smiled a little, a very small smile that I almost did not see. Then he turned and left the kitchen, closing the door softly behind him. I stood in the kitchen for a long time. I did not move or speak. My heart was still beating fast from seeing him. My mind was full of thoughts. Why did he come here? Why did he ask my name again? Why did he touch me like that? It was very strange. I was just a maid. His touch made me feel something I did not understand. It was a very strange night, and I was very confused. 3. The fake girlfriend. One day, my life changed very quickly. I was cleaning the floor when Mrs. Gable, the head housekeeper, came to me. She said, "Alina, Mr. Blackwood wants to see you in his office now." My heart felt heavy. I was very scared. What did I do wrong? Did he not like something from last night? I walked slowly to his office. The door was big and dark. I knocked softly. His voice said, "Come in." I opened the door. Mr. Blackwood was sitting at his big desk. He looked at me. I stood there, my hands together, waiting. But he did not look angry. He looked serious. "Alina," he said. He remembered my name. "Please sit down." I sat on a soft chair. "I have something to ask you," he said. "It is not normal." My heart was beating fast. "I want you to be my girlfriend," he said. I just looked at him. Me, his girlfriend? It felt like a dream, a crazy one. He saw my face. "Not a real girlfriend," he said. "A fake one. I need you to pretend." He told me about his ex-girlfriend, Victoria. He said she wanted to come back to him, but he did not want her. He thought if she saw him with a new girlfriend, she would leave him alone. "You want me to help you?" I asked. He said yes. My first thought was no. I am a maid. He is a rich man. It is impossible. "I cannot do that," I said quietly. "I will pay you a lot of money, Alina," he said. He said a number, and it was very big. My mother was sick. She needed medicine and a doctor. This money could help her so much. I thought about my mother. I thought about the money. It was a strange thing to do, maybe bad, but the money could save my mother. "I need to think," I said. "I need your answer tomorrow," he said. I left his office. My head was turning. That night I could not sleep. I thought about the money, about my mother, about Mr. Blackwood. The next morning I went back to his office. "Yes," I said, "I will do it." My life was different from that second. A new life. My life changed a lot. Alexander, as he told me to call him sometimes, took me shopping. He bought me many beautiful new clothes. Dresses, shoes, coats, things I never had before. He even bought me a small, shiny necklace. I felt like a different person in these clothes. We went to fancy restaurants. Rich people ate there. I learned which fork to use and how to talk in these places. People looked at me. They whispered. They wanted to know who I was, this girl with the famous Alexander Blackwood. I smiled and tried to look like I belonged there. But inside, I always knew this was not my real life. It was a game we were playing. We needed to practice being a couple, Alexander said. One evening, we were eating dinner at his house. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. A moment later, a woman came into the room. She was tall and beautiful, with blonde hair and a red dress. It was Victoria, Alexander's ex-girlfriend. Victoria smiled at Alexander, but her eyes were cold when she looked at me. Alexander stood up. He looked surprised for a second, then he smiled. He walked to me and put his arm around my waist. He pulled me close. "Victoria," he said, "this is Alina, my girlfriend." Victoria's eyes got big. She looked at me up and down. I felt very small. Then Alexander did something that surprised me very much. He bent down and kissed me. He kissed me right there in front of Victoria. His lips were soft on mine. My body stopped moving for a second. Then a strange, warm feeling went through me. It was a fake kiss for Victoria to see. But it felt very, very real to me. My heart felt warm inside. Victoria looked very angry. She said something sharp to Alexander and left the house quickly. When she was gone, Alexander let go of me. He looked at me with a serious face. "I am sorry if that was too much," he said. "It was the only way to make her believe." I could not speak. I just nodded my head. I wanted to tell him that the kiss was okay. I wanted to tell him how it made me feel, but I said nothing. He said sorry for the kiss, but a secret part of me wished it was not fake. 5 real feelings, days became weeks. I spent time with Alexander. We went to different places together, to parties with many people, to the theater to watch plays, to nice restaurants for dinner. Alexander taught me things. He was patient with me. Sometimes I forgot that our relationship was not real. It started to feel like it was true. Alexander changed too. He was not always the cold man from the start. When we were alone, he could be different. He smiled at me sometimes. It was a real, kind smile. He held my hand when we walked together. His touch made me feel strange inside, in a good way. He told me funny things, and I laughed with him. I saw a new side of him. At night, I was in my room. I thought about Alexander. I dreamed about his smile. I thought about how he looked at me. My heart knew something important. I was falling in love with him. It was a big problem. How could a maid fall in love with a rich man? He was my boss. He lived in a world I did not know. This was not right. I was scared. My heart could break. I knew I had to stop this game. I had to leave. I had to go before I got hurt. One day I packed my bag. I went to find Alexander. He was in his study working. "Alexander," I said. My voice was quiet. It was shaking a little. I cannot do this anymore. I have to leave." He stopped working. He looked up quickly. His face became serious. "Leave?" he asked. "Why do you want to leave?" Because this is not real," I whispered. My eyes started to fill with water. "I am just your fake girlfriend. I am the maid." He stood up. He walked towards me. He stood very close. He looked in my eyes. "It started as fake, Alina," he said. His voice was low and soft. "But it does not feel fake to me now." Before I spoke, he put his hand on my cheek. It was warm, just like that first night in the kitchen. Then he leaned down and kissed me again. This kiss was different. It was not fast like the one for Victoria. It was slow. It was gentle. It felt full of real feeling. A feeling I felt in my heart. When he pulled away, he looked into my eyes again. "You are not just a maid to me, Alina," he said. "You belong here with me." My heart felt very happy at his words, but a part of me was still afraid. What did this mean? 6. The big problem. One morning, everything went wrong very fast. I woke up, and Mrs. Gable, the head housekeeper, looked very worried. She was holding a newspaper in her hands. "Alina, you must see this," she said softly. I took the paper. On the front page, there was a big picture of me and Alexander. We were walking outside a restaurant holding hands. The words were shocking. Rich man Blackwood's new love, a secret maid. My blood felt cold. Now everyone knew my secret. They knew the rich Mr. Blackwood was with a simple maid. I felt sick. The big house was full of noise and unhappiness. The telephone rang all day. Alexander's family was very angry because of the news. I heard him talking loudly on the phone. His mother was especially angry. She did not want him to be with me. I felt small and full of shame. I wanted to disappear and hide. Then Victoria, his ex-girlfriend, came to the house. She came straight to my small room. I was sitting on my bed, crying softly. Victoria stood in the door. She looked very angry. She threw money on my bed. "Here," she said, her voice hard. "Take this and go away. You are just a bad girl who wants money. You are nobody." More tears fell fast. Her words felt sharp like knives. "I don't want his money," I sobbed quietly. I love him," Victoria laughed. It was a cold sound. "Love," she said. "He is just playing a game with the maid. He will get tired of you soon. He will go back to girls from his own world." She said more cruel things. Then she left quickly, closing the door loudly. I stayed on my bed and cried for a long time. I felt completely broken. Later, Alexander found me. My eyes were red from crying. He sat on the bed next to me. He gently put his arms around me. I cried again, holding onto his strong chest. "Shh, Alina," he whispered softly. He stroked my hair. "Don't listen to her bad words. Don't listen to anyone." He held me very tightly. "I am here with you. I will protect you. I don't care about the newspaper story. I don't care about the big problem. I only care about you, Alina." His words were like a warm blanket. I looked up at him and I saw something in his eyes. It was deep love. And I knew I was not alone. 7. He asks me to marry him. The days after the big story in the newspaper were hard. People in the house whispered about me. Some of the other workers were not kind. Alexander's family was very angry. They wanted him to leave me, but Alexander stayed next to me. He told everyone that I was important to him. He showed them that their ideas did not matter to him. He was strong for me. One evening, it was raining very hard. The wind blew strongly. The sky was dark gray. Alexander came to my room. He looked a little nervous, which was unusual for him. "Alina," he said gently, "please come with me. I want to show you something special." He took my hand. We went out into the garden together. The rain felt cold, but he held a large umbrella over our heads to keep us dry. We walked slowly to the middle of the rose garden. The beautiful flowers looked heavy and wet from the rain. He stopped walking there. He turned to face me fully. Rain dripped from the edge of the umbrella. He looked into my eyes, and his own eyes were full of a very deep and warm feeling. "Alina Carter," he said. His voice was a little shaky with emotion. "You came into my life like a wonderful surprise. You were a maid in my big house. I first asked you to play a role, to pretend. But somewhere along the way, everything truly changed. It all became completely real for me, Alina. My heart started beating so fast inside my chest. It felt like a little bird trying to fly away. Then, he did the most amazing and beautiful thing. Mr. Alexander Blackwood, the rich and powerful businessman, got down on one knee right there in the wet mud of the garden path. He took a small, dark velvet box from his pocket. He opened it carefully. Inside, a beautiful diamond ring shined brightly, even in the gray light of the rainy evening. "Alina," he said again, his voice full of love, "you are kind, you are strong, and you are so beautiful to me. You make me happier than anyone ever has. I don't care what the world says about us. I love you deeply. Will you please marry me?" Tears quickly filled my eyes, but this time they were the happiest tears I had ever cried. I was crying and laughing softly at the very same time. "Yes," I whispered, almost too quietly to hear. Then I said it much louder with all my heart. "Yes, Alexander, yes, I will marry you." He took the beautiful ring and gently put it onto my finger. It fit perfectly, like it was made just for me. He stood up and pulled me into a warm hug, kissing me passionately right there in the rain. I did not care at all about the mud on his clothes or the rain on my face. In that moment, I knew I was going to be his wife. His family was, of course, very shocked by the news. Some of them were so angry that they refused to come to our wedding. But Alexander did not care about them. We had a small, very beautiful wedding ceremony just a few weeks later. It was not in a big, fancy church with many people, but in the quiet garden of his house, the same lovely garden where he asked me to marry him. I wore a simple but very beautiful white dress. I had never, ever dreamed I would wear such a dress or marry a man like Alexander. When I said the words, "I do," I was no longer Alina the maid who cleaned the floors. I was now Alina Blackwood, his wife. Our life now. My life is very different now. I am Mrs. Alexander Blackwood. I live in a very big and beautiful house. This house was where I worked before, cleaning floors and dusting rooms. Now it is my home too. I do not work as a maid anymore. We have staff who clean the floors and dust the furniture for us. I spend my time differently. Sometimes I sit in the large living room. I look out the window at the green gardens, which are very pretty. I often wait for my husband, Alexander, to come home from his work. His work is important, and he is very busy. People still talk about us. I know this happens. When we go out to eat at a restaurant or go to a party, I see them. They whisper to each other behind their hands. They look at me and my nice clothes and jewelry. I hear them say things like, "She was his maid, you know." They often say that I am very lucky. Maybe they are right. I am lucky to have found Alexander and to be with him. But it was not just luck that brought us here together. Our story was a scandal for many people. A poor maid marrying her rich master. It sounds like something from an old storybook, but it is my real life now. Life is not always easy, even now that I am married. Sometimes I still feel like a simple girl from a small house, now living in a very fancy world. Alexander's rich friends look at me sometimes in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable or small. His mother is still quite cold to me most of the time, but I think she is slowly changing, slowly becoming a little kinder as the months pass. But then Alexander comes home from his busy day. He finds me and he smiles. It is a special, warm smile that is only for me. He walks to me and takes my hand in his. He tells me that he loves me. When he is with me, I feel safe and strong. I feel truly loved and nothing else matters. I know I love Alexander with all my heart, completely. And I believe completely that he loves me too, just as much as I love him. He did not care about my past or that I was poor. He did not care about money or what people thought or said. He saw me, Alina, the person I am inside. He chose me to be his wife. So yes, I was a poor maid who cleaned houses for others. Now I am a wife. I am Mrs. Alexander Blackwood. This is my unusual love story, my scandal that everyone talked about. And for me, it is my happy ending. I found love in the most surprising place, in the house where I worked. I will hold on to this love tightly with both hands. My journey from maid to wife was strange and sometimes very difficult, but I would not change one moment of it. Because every step, every day, brought me here to him, to our life now.